So this is Acid Roots, everyone. I've got my pink cap on, and you might not be able to tell because the light is really bright overhead, but I'm going to talk about Kutt Calhoun's B.L.E.V.E album. Kind of strange name, and it's weird seeing that in everyday conversation, like Tech N9ne, but we're going to talk about him. So Tech N9ne was building his strange music label. And over the process of that, he did recruit some cats. He knew some folks along the way, and a lot of them were out of Missouri. So this is what he was one of the first ones to get some shine. And I just recently learned that a couple guests on this Kutt album actually have their own album themselves. It's like there's just some extra cats on here. One of the guests that you may not know who they are. Chris Calico's dropped multiple albums, but a couple of they're a pair. But meanwhile, this is basically like a fluid rendition of a Tech N9ne album. And I do feel like in a lot of ways people wanted Tech, and he was one of the sleepers out of the 2000s decade. This is definitely something to hold as a merit, just because, while Eminem and Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne were eating up the accolades, I feel like these guys were winning in the album department, and this is definitely a good thing. Their camp, strange music, the camp that they have really had some entertaining stuff. So what the point being is you get music that you probably turn deaf ears on, but now is as good as time as ever to fuck with this all of a sudden. If you're sick of current day music, or you're bored all the time, or all of a sudden, this is an excellent CD to turn to. And I know that not a ton of people, because I go on Spotify and I see the amount of attention that these sort of cats receive. So I know that it's not necessarily the full idea. So this is something that you have to really soak in. But alright, can you smoke to this? I'm gonna say the answer is, need to find my thing. Yeah, I think you can. Definitely. Few songs would be Got Plans, Real Sex, In My Face, Panic Box, The Know-How. These are all some immediate ones that I would smoke to. And then there's a couple, in the wait ones, like Dat Nigga There and To Whom It May Concern. So the production. Now, this is the thing. I really like this album quite a bit. Normally, when I like Tech N9ne albums, the thing is, I think, I'm going to like a lot of them a lot more in the future. And so this holds strong with this Kutt Calhoun album. And I'm thinking, this is going to hit me down the road. But there is a lot of songs on here that I like. So a few of the best beats, I feel like Real Sex sounds like a crazy circus type song. There's something like, I mean, even the intro to the song is advertising, this free vagina or vagina for sale, and you'll like that song. Tech N9ne's on it. Goldberg sounds really summery. In My Face sounds pretty slick, but Kutt doesn't show up till the end. The Know-How has a really slick beat. In a White Man's Eyes is pretty mellow. These are just a few that you're going to want to check out. So the unheard songs, thing about this release is out of 16 songs, I wound up liking about 12 of them. So I'm going to talk about these more in depth so you know what I mean. So the 4 songs I did not like were My Life, Walk with a Limp, Keep It Keebler, and Hip Hop Warning. To me, all of those beats were just thumbs down, and they didn't really stand out, and I did not see myself having any occasion where I would play those songs. They're just not ready to go in terms of being around people. But few songs, like I said, I already described Real Sex to you. That's pretty much one you need to head for. Tech N9ne appears on here a handful of times, and the Know-How is a really extremely, I mean, that one has like these piano keys or something like that on it that it just sounds shady, but it's slick at the same time. The Know-How sounds like horrorcore, and Got Plans is another one that sounds that way. I described Goldberg to you. Nationality is a really good one. That one just feels like you're dazing the whole day. That one, just the core, the keys in that song are just magnificent. It's a real kind of August summer type song that's just gonna get you going nuts. That Nigga There, that one kind of sounds eerie. There's just several of them, so I'm gonna name the almost songs so you know the ones that I mean. That Nigga There, Parlay, Panic Box, and Goldberg are the almost songs. Everything else is ready to go. You need to give all of this a shot. The score. I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10. I don't really give... I might as well just give this like a 9.5, like really... I mean, it just isn't going to get that much closer. I'll give it a 10 just because 12 out of 16 is extremely good. But if I don't like those almost songs, it's just a 9. Because 8 out of 16 that would bring it down to about a 7 or a 6.5. But, 12 out of 16 is just like, hey, I'm just giving myself credit that I'm going to like these songs more. So it would get a 10. And so, if not 6.5, if so 10. But the future Kutt is separated from Strange Music, which is unfortunate. That's one thing I wasn't proud of. I don't know what's going to happen. So, the social score, I'm going to give this a 6 even social, just because, I think this really got ignored, but the problem with it is you just don't know the starting points for what songs to go to. You don't know the starting points to go to if you like Tech N9ne and rap music in general. So that's kind of the thing. So I would say a few starting points would be Real Sex, The Know-How, Panic Box, Got Plans, Nationality, and Bring the Flame, which I completely forgot about. Those are just some good ones to start with, and then just let the album grow on you. That's the greatest answer, is just to do that. But can it be topped? I think the answer is not quite. I'm more interested in Kutt. So subscribe for more fun. 10 and a 6 social.